much was that affecting you all at various points?
It did, I mean, a couple wrong plays, it's delay games. You just think about the kid, just hopefully he's okay. And they said his eyes was, his eye was really blurry. He said he just couldn't read. So, hopefully he's okay. That's really all I think about. I mean, from an execution standpoint, it wasn't just his fault. So, hopefully he's okay. But that definitely affected some of our operation.
During training camp, I think I asked you about his ability to extend plays.
Yeah.
And you talked about how he does have a knack of, even though he's not a scrambler per se, he can extend plays. He really seemed to do that tonight.
He did, I mean, it kind of got us going in a couple instances. And it's nice when the quarterback, like, you call plays, right, and you hope to get a coverage, but that probably happens about 5 to 10 times a game, where you get, like, the exact look of the exact play that you want. And players need to make plays, and he did so. He did that on a number of occasions, and then really had the one that, could have been a touchdown as well, where Dano had it until he was going down at the end in the end zone. So that would have put us up, 28-3, I think, and then you feel a little bit better about where you're at. And then, if he doesn't get nicked, maybe things are, operating better. But he helped us. I thought he did some really good things. He missed one third down where he missed Barryon on a corner route. He threw it to Tavion, almost got picked on a third and I think it was like 2 or 3. If he would have just kind of hung on to it for an extra tick, he's got Barryon for a touchdown on a corner route. But other than that, I thought he did some really good things.
Do you feel like he's just getting more in command of of your offense and what you're asking of him?
Definitely. I mean, Friday, we had the best Friday. I mean, I know you talk about practice performance equaling game reality, but we had our best Friday practice that we've had all season. And not just him, but the ball didn't touch the ground one time on Friday. And that's not always the case, right? And it might not have shown in some ways tonight, but I do think that he's getting better, and he's getting better each week.
You had the one drive before half where the run game really worked.
Yeah.
The rest of the game it was kind of consistent. Where do you just feel like that's at this point?
I have to evaluate, but I don't know if our guards played great tonight. In some ways, I mean, that we knew it would be tough to run it consistently, and then we got enough going, and for a while there, though, it felt like we were only throwing it, well to move the ball, and that gets a little dicey. And because after I think the defense was on the field for like a 19-play drive, then we needed to really kind of run it in order to get them off the field. Then we got the pick 6, so we got a little breathing room, and then we, like you said, we went on that drive before the half, which resulted in points, which was nice, and that just didn't stay consistent, and we have to look at it, whether it's, the O-line, the scheme, the tight ends, the running backs, everybody's involved in the run game. So have to look at truly why, but we also got to make people miss at the second and third levels, and, be special with the ball in our hands, and, that's part of the game. We'll take a look at that, and maybe we have to, change some schemes.
Liam, I asked Mark about this. I know for me the bare minimum expectation out in Kentucky is to make a bowl, but I mean, you guys gained it for an 8th consecutive year. How much does that mean to you, and just what do you think it means for the program as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, it's just success, right? I guess anytime, I don't know, I know it's not the standard at which this place is operating anymore, but I think anytime you make a bowl game, you have a chance to win 7 games, which is more than you're losing, and that's obviously above average. It's not where we our end game, but I obviously haven't been here for a very long time, but I think it's impressive. I think it is personally. I think there's a lot of teams out there in the country that probably don't do that. And, especially to do it in this conference, and consistent as Coach Stoops has been here, as this program's been, I think it's pretty impressive.
You mentioned just there, you haven't been here as long necessarily, but this is the first time under Mark Stoops Kentucky's ever won here in Starkville.
Yeah.
First time since 2008. Do you feel like that was felt properly in the locker room? How
Yeah.
big win this was?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's hard. like Coach Stoops was saying to me, like with about a couple minutes left in the game, he's like, Liam, like you got to smile up there, man. You know, because I was, you know, you get ticked off when you don't execute, right? And like last week, we executed in some ways, but we lose, right? And so we don't execute as well as we'd like to as an offense, but we win the game. And really, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And it does. And I'm speaking to myself when I say that, it's all that matters. At the end of the day, wins are wins. And this is not an easy place to win. It's not an easy travel. And our kids were resilient. Our defense played their tails off. And at the end of the day, it's a team win. And it is good to get down here. And I mean, those cowbells aren't fun, you know? And so to hear those pretty quiet for the majority of the game was nice.
Liam, pardon me if this is a crazy question, because obviously I know you got trying to milk the clock. It's got to win. Was there any thought maybe kind of letting Kaya cut loose some?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't sitting there saying run with him in. That wasn't the thought process. I mean, he made a great play on the one boot where he evades the rusher and hits Dan on the over. We just didn't, you know, we were trying to work on running it, really. I mean, we hadn't run it that well, and we were trying to work on running the football, and it just became one of those weird games where we knew the only thing that we could really do to lose the game would be to throw an interception in the house or have a sack fumble. So as coaches, you're saying, well, yeah, it would be great to get Kaya some reps and get him to throw it and all that, but really at what cost? You know, at what cost? And to go in there and the defense played so well. You know, special teams played really well. We did enough in order to win the game, I guess. So you don't want to take that away from the team.
Thanks, Liam.